How's it going, guys? The RC Syndicate back here with a video for 2022. Those of you who been following me and checking out social media, I mentioned on TikTok that I was definitely going to be pursuing TikTok and particularly YouTube way more heavier in 2022. So let's go ahead and kick this thing off with a review of my Class 1-ish. Class 1-ish. You'll see why. Alright, the reason why I call it my Class 1-ish is because, well, this chassis is exactly not Class 1 scale acceptable. For Class 1 chassis scale acceptable, these shock tower mounts actually have to be bolted in. Now, I believe, and I don't know this, but I believe pretty soon it's not even going to matter whether these shock towers are bolted in or whether a complete chassis, laser cut or molded in, or however you want to look at it, chassis. I believe that's going to be changing relatively soon. Reason being, whether they're bolted in or in this case one piece, I don't see any difference. Matter of fact, I think bolted in might even actually make it even more of an advantage, because what's to say that you wouldn't be able to move the shock towers and place them in a different way. And again, that all goes with how do you define a stock looking vehicle or a one-to-one looking vehicle in regards to Class 1. So like I said, I call this my Class 1-ish, because I believe down the road that'll change. But until then, I'm going to call it my Class 1. I'm not running Scale Nationals. It's a Class 1 hard body, and that's what I'm going to go with. Now, this particular rig is actually very, very inexpensive in regards to how it was built and how it all came about. This is not a kit. This is a simply multiple trades kind of culminated into one. The body came in on a trade. Never ever would have used the hard body ever in my life, but it came in on a trade, so I was going to use it. These right here wheels were given to me. These are cheap Amazon knockoffs. Again, given to me. The entire drivetrain on this was a vehicle bought from my friend. This actually used to be a honcho. If you can kind of picture what a honcho would look in this particular case, it's actually the honcho. Again, not bought brand new. And other than the chassis and the links, all this was all secondhand stuff that was just kind of laying around, that just never really had a home. So that's what this is. So this is definitely a mutt in the best case scenario right here, but she gets the job done. So I'm gonna go ahead and walk her through, and I'll show you guys what makes this one my Class 1-ish. Alright, took it down off the stand right here. So this body right here, I don't know who exactly makes this body. I don't believe it's an RC 4-wheel drives, but this actually came in on a trade, like I said, just a Toyota looking hard body. Simply pinned on top, again, not scale. A fake pretend tonneau cover made out of literally felt, and then pinned in the back one time with a Proline pin in the rear. Tires are all Class 1 4.19s. These are the BFGs KM3s, stock foams front and rear. Again, just cheap wheels off of Amazon, and then actually brass rotors. And this is something I'm trying out new, brass rotors all the way around. I honestly, real quick disclaimer, I don't even recommend these, because this particular setup, I'm having a lot of issues with the wheels actually shearing off the hub, because this hardware, it's just not very good, and the way the mounting method is not very good. I honestly would do without these and go brass on the knuckles and brass on the rear, but this is just parts that I have laying around. Again, nothing purchased, just given to me or in that route. So that's the only reason why these are on, and they work, they help out a lot. But every time I bring the rig out, I already kind of assume that these are going to be what's going to go right here. These particular screws, they'll either strip out, pull out. That back left one actually pulled out, left me dead on the trail. So what you see here, just a standard metal bumper. Actually moving around, standard metal bumper right here. So you should actually have a big stinger on it. Cut the stinger off, ground it down. You can see all these bump marks and everything from the rocks and stuff, but tucked in nice and clean. Again, full width of the body per Class 1 rules. So there's there. This kit, this particular rig came with lights already, so it's a cheap Ghoul RC, I believe, is the kit where these lights came off of. Everything works on here. I thought this was kind of funny. I just put this up. This tail light never worked. So I identify as a working tail light. I thought it'd be absolutely hilarious to throw that on there. So that's what's on there right here. And of course, if you say it's ugly, well, your mom likes it. Simply just a cheap hard body. And again, this came in on a trade, so I had to use it. Now with the body removed, you're gonna notice immediately right off the bat, this has a G-Speed V3 chassis on it. This is just simply the rails. This is my first G-Speed chassis, and I wanted to go ahead and give it a try. And I didn't want to be too invested into it, and me not necessarily like how it worked for me and what I was shooting for. Best decision I've ever made with this particular rig. Completely changed everything about this rig for 100% the best. G-Speed freaking nailed it with this particular chassis, and that's what this is right here. So I got this one in the steel. I wanted it to rust and patina. That's kind of like the whole deal with this class 1. That body's painted to show patina, so every time it's a new bump, scratch, hit, damage, ding, whatever case, it just shows different layers. And I thought having the surface rust would be a nice touch. Let's go with the axles first from the ground up, right? Axles, stock axles, front and rear, absolutely nothing done to them. These links right here, picked up through 8 main, lower brass bent, front and rear, Delrin up top. Awesome. Definitely check out A-Main for this particular link setup. It's great. Very, very heavy. I'm not gonna lie, it adds a lot of weight down low. So if you're wanting that light rig, I definitely wouldn't suggest it. But considering that I am carrying a hard body up top, even though it's mounted relatively low, I thought this was definitely the best decision right here. Up front, you'll see a lot of the stuff because this wasn't purchased from G-Speed as a kit. This is purchased just from G-Speed from the links. So there's still remnants of the old SCX-10 just kind of sitting here. So if you look at here, we still got a battery tray right here. When you actually go to G-Speed, you can actually buy a whole mount that'll get rid of that and make it way cleaner. But again, this is a work in progress, so you still see a battery tray, which I still utilize. My battery will sit here, and then you see my speed controller sitting here. Stock, mind you, Dynamite speed controller that actually came with that SCX-10. This servo right here, just your cheap Amazon special, nothing crazy, 25 kg, gets the job done. Nothing super powerful, nothing super fast, but you know, for what it's worth, all my rigs actually run this particular servo, and I have yet to damage them. They are a tried and true servo. Definitely check that out if you want an inexpensive servo that gets the job done for sure. Now, one thing of course you'll also notice is running a Holmes Hobby motor right here. All my rigs have Holmes Hobby motors. I stick by them 100%. Holmes Hobby, absolutely for the win. You can't beat them in regards to price, in regards to how reliable they are. Every single time I need it, it's always there. This is a 13 turn to make it a little bit more spicy, especially since I'm turning smaller tires, and everything is getting turned through a 3 gear. All my rigs have been moved to a 3 gear. Right now, still on a center skid plate. You look at other guys that have full-blown kits, you'll see everything move forward. They'll have maybe a front mount transmission, or they'll have, you know, just different configurations, even a divorce transfer case. Nope, mine just center skid, center motor, center transmission, and it does pretty darn well. To round it off for electronics, everything's been changed over to a FlySky, because that's what the remote I run. And there it is, guys. Just a cheap, simple setup that gets the freaking job done, if I do say so myself. Well guys, there she is. This is the complete walkthrough, more or less, was my class 1-ish. If you guys have any particular questions regarding this build, definitely let me know. This is just a quick overview to introduce you guys to all the rigs. If you guys like to see a further breakdown as we continue to push through these machines and tweak them, you know how we do in this particular hobby. Nothing stays the same from video to video. That's just how it goes. But if you guys would like something like that, let me know in the comment section. I'll gladly break it down to a more in-depth video. This is just a quick overview of this particular setup and this particular rig. Next, we'll be going with our class 2. We do have class 3 as well. I know you guys can already see the rigs on the side, so you know we got multiple rigs we can go over. But I hope you guys enjoyed it. If this is something you guys would like, please give that subscribe button a consideration. Hit me with a like. Let me know in the comment section if you have any particular questions about what we have here. And other than that, you guys stay safe out there. Peace.